Experienced rider who values comfort, reliable ownership, and true value. This countdown is built for you. We're spotlighting underrated machines that ride smooth, keep costs stable, and deliver daily satisfaction. Wait until you see the sleeper shaft drive boxer hiding in plain sight. Number 15 proves it with comfort-forward manners and practical buying cues you can trust. Real value, fewer ownership surprises. Number 15, BMW R 1100R. Telelever stability, shaft cleanliness, and sleeper value define the BMW R 1100R for riders who want confident control and day-long comfort. The air and oil-cooled boxer is reliable and under-stressed, with approachable valve checks at home and a community that keeps parts stable and guidance available. New is discontinued. Used riders commonly land between $2,500 and $4,500, delivering value for shaft convenience and touring stability. Expect a tank just under 5 gallons, mid-40s miles per gallon, and seat options from roughly 30 to 32 1/2 inches for secure footing and quiet stops. Telelever separates braking forces from fork dive, keeping the front planted while the chassis stays stable under firm stops, reducing fatigue on patched pavement. Paralever rear control tames driveline lift for smooth roll-ons without the bob, and the 5-speed plus broad torque make relaxed passing confident. One rider shared, "What a fabulous motorcycle. The engine now feels like a gyroscope." Ergo suits seniors. Neutral reach, a plush saddle, and windscreen options that build a quiet pocket so highway tempo feels composed. Maintenance stays practical, with cylinder heads in the breeze, clear torque specs, and an aftermarket for pads, lines, and shocks that keep feedback precise. Know the nuance. Servo anti-lock ears add complexity. Verify pump operation, service records, and battery health, or choose a non-servo example for reliable, long-term stability. Weight and older electrics are the trade-offs. Clean grounds and a robust regulator keep charging reliable, while inputs make parking lot work smooth. Fresh braided lines, quality pads, and modern tires sharpen braking feel and keep steering. Stable without harshness, making everyday commuting peaceful. Want retro universal-style smoothness and thrift pricing? Number 14 brings a forgotten inline-4 standard with commuter range and honest value. Number 14, Suzuki GSX 750 in Azuma. Smooth 4-cylinder pull, sleeper value, and cheap to modernize hardware make the Suzuki GSX 750 in Azuma a reliable, everyday standard for riders who prefer classic manners over hype. The understressed DOHC4 is durable and tractable. With basic jets and diaphragms you can service at home, keeping maintenance practical and costs stable, while parts availability stays strong through global channels. Stock ergonomics are comfort-oriented. A reasonable rise to the bar, mid-pegs, and a plush seat near 31 inches that keeps stops secure and parking lot maneuvers smooth and predictable. Range is practical, with a tank around 5 1/3 gallons and real-world mid-40s miles per gallon. So commuters get reliable distance without refueling anxiety or budget drama. Brakes are period basic, but braided lines, fresh fluid, and quality pads deliver a clear upgrade in bite and feel, returning confidence and stable lever feedback without harshness. Used pricing is friendly. Most clean riders list between $2,500 and $4,500. So value seekers can modernize suspension and brakes while staying comfortably under flashy brand money. Service is straightforward. Float heights, jets, and diaphragms respond to clean work, and access to the airbox and plugs is reasonable, keeping home wrenching stress light and budgets controlled. The chassis feels balanced at real speeds. A fork refresh and sensible shock add stability, while modern rubber sharpens turn-in and preserves the bike's easygoing character for daily miles. Limitations are honest. Stock brakes are dated until updated, and the cluster and switchgear feel vintage. But the ride remains smooth and relaxed when you keep inputs precise. Prefer modern fueling and Italian character at a similar price. 13 delivers FIV twin personality, genuinely soulful for experienced riders. Riding with us? Tap subscribe, hit like, and drop a hype. We post reliable sleeper picks, clear used price ranges, and stable setup tips that keep miles smooth every single week. Number 13, Aprilia Shiver 750. Overlooked, athletic, and honestly priced, the Aprilia Shiver 749cc delivers reliable V-twin character with real chassis poise and rider-friendly value. Ride-by-wire maps keep response consistent. Rain Logic smooths inputs for better control, while Stout brakes add stable feel with modern pads and braided lines. The trellis-style frame keeps weight central and feedback precise, giving street agility with highway stability. Steering remains neutral and predictable in mixed pavement. Fueling feels smooth once updates are applied. Community tuning maps and dealer flashes refine mid-range torque without killing efficiency. Ergonomics are natural, an upright triangle, friendly reach, and a roughly 32-inch seat that keeps stops secure yet preserves comfort on longer loops. One rider says, "I flogged a 750 Shiver 2 years ago and was impressed. The tank holds about 4 gallons, and careful hands see high 30s to low 40s miles per gallon, so range remains practical and stable for daily rides." One rider shared, "Used pricing is welcoming. Clean riders often run $3,000 to $5,000. New is discontinued, which keeps deals strong and value-heavy. Maintenance is straightforward. Valve checks are clear, access is reasonable, and parts support. Improves via cross-reference guides and active community suppliers. Common owner tweaks include improved pads, stainless lines, a fork service, and fresh shock settings to restore balance and extend comfort on broken pavement. Electronics appreciate a healthy battery and tidy grounds. Keep connections clean and the ride stays reliable. Honest limitation. In hot city traffic, leg heat can rise. A taller screen, ceramic wrap, or simple airflow deflectors add peaceful relief without changing character. If you want a midweight with authentic pulse, modern fuel injection, and stable brakes that won't drain your wallet, this sleeper delivers surprising refinement. Want silk smooth 4s with everyday reliability? 12 is the Japan market icon. Number 12, Honda CB400 Super 4. Japan market legend that rides like a daily friend. The Honda CB400 Super 4 blends civilized manners, reliable running, and year-round practical value. It's proven DOH. C4 is understressed and long-lived, with clear valve service guides, deep community support, and plentiful wear parts that keep costs stable. Friendly gearing and a silky gearbox make city hops smooth and freeway merges predictable, while the chassis stays neutral when you tip in. Ergos are upright and relaxed, with a roughly 30.5-inch seat that gives secure footing and all-day comfort without crouch. The tank carries about 4 to 4.5 gallons, and riders see mid-40s to low 50s miles per gallon, yielding consistent range and peaceful fuel stops. Suspension feels classic UJM, composed when maintained, and easily refreshed with fork oil, sensible springs, and quality brake pads for confident feel. Because it was a domestic favorite, cross-reference parts and interchange tips are abundant, which keeps downtime minimal and wrenching straightforward. New is discontinued. Used examples land around $3,500 to $6,500, with clean riders commanding end thanks to condition. Gray market paperwork can add steps. Verify VIN import status, emissions labels, and insurance acceptance before money changes hands to keep the process stressless and legitimate. On the road, it's refined rather than rowdy. Linear delivery, light clutch pull, and a humming exhaust note that feels classic without fatigue. Commute, coach a returning rider, or take a quiet county loop. This machine rewards smooth inputs with balanced feedback and quietly reliable miles. If you want the same path with a different heartbeat, the next pick trades 4 for V-twin character and belt drive simplicity at affordable money. 11 lands hard. Number 11, Victory. Kingpin/Kingpin. 8-ball. Underrated American steel with practical manners, the Kingpin serves comfort, reliable mileage, and value that sneaks under most shoppers' radar. Polaris bones mean a stable driveline and long-haul durability. You get belt drive cleanliness, a broad, tractable V-twin, and an easygoing chassis that keeps wrists relaxed and shoulders peaceful on county roads. Ownership is practical. The belt final shrugs off grime, the gearbox feels confident, and routine service stays simple with deep aftermarket support. Bars, seats, and windscreens are plentiful, so tailoring fit for knees and backs is straightforward. Many riders praise the planted, smooth highway cadence and the roomy, plush saddle for all-day loops. Price reality is where this sleeper shines. Used examples generally land around $3,800 to $7,000 for clean, documented riders. Serious value for big twin presence without premium markup. exhaust sound of the Victory Kingpin/Kingpin 8 Ball. The tank holds about 5 gallons, and careful hands see high 30s miles per gallon. Seat height sits roughly 26 to 27 inches, which gives really secure stops and easy backing into a space. On the road, it tracks stable. Brakes are predictable with good pads and braided lines, and the long wheelbase keeps sweepers relaxed than fidgety. Community knowledge is robust, and crossover parts support from the Victory family helps keep downtime minimal and budgets stable. Light trade-off, the stock rear shock can feel stiff two-up on patched pavement. A quality replacement or refreshed damping restores control and adds extra plush without dulling feedback. Add a quick-release screen and bags, and you've got a quiet, smooth bubble that eats states. Want V-twin sole but lighter with shaft cleanliness? 10 answers from Italy with transverse twin character, seat height, and real-world range at a price that stays friendly. Number 10. Moto Guzzi, Nevada, 750. Italian charm with practical upkeep. The Nevada 750 brings character, shaft cleanliness, and senior-friendly comfort at true sleeper prices. The transverse V-twin adds silky crank feel and easy side access for valves, so driveway service stays simple and budgets stable. Facts that matter. Screw and lock nut valves mean quick checks. Fueling is straightforward when filters are clean, and electrics prove reliable when grounds are tidy and the battery is healthy. The gearbox is friendly, the clutch is light, and the chassis feels peaceful once rolling. Steering is light once moving. Stability stays peaceful at cruise. Price reality. New, discontinued. Used riders commonly list around $2,500 to $4,500, depending on records and trim. Serious value for a shaft drive standard with real travel chops. The tank is about 4 gallons. Economy lands in the low 50s miles per gallon with measured wrists, and the seat sits near 31 inches for confident stops without tiptoe drama. Ergos are senior focused. Neutral bar sweep, mid-pegs, and a roomy plush saddle that keeps knees happy. Add a mid-height screen and small bags, and you get a quiet, smooth pocket that shrugs off crosswinds. Brakes gain predictable bite with braided lines and modern pads. A fork oil refresh returns control on patched county roads. Light trade-off, slight top-heavy feel at a crawl, especially with a full tank. Smooth clutch, a touch of rear brake, and eyes up, keep balance stable. Parts support is better than many assume, and the owner community is generous with tips and crossover sources. Want muscle standard thrust and classic lines after this shaft drive calm? 9 wakes the mid-band with big bore surge, adjustable suspenders, and a price that still reads friendly in today's market. Helpful so far? Hit like and drop a hype. It boosts these value picks to more riders and keeps this community growing with practical, stable advice. Number 9. Kawasaki ZRX 1110. Eddie Lawson's swagger, big bore surge, and garage-friendly hardware. The ZRX 1100 is budget muscle with real heritage. It looks tough, rides stable, and delivers a reliable punch that never feels peaky or fussy. Under the paint sits a robust inline 4 with strong cases, durable cams, and simple shim under bucket valves that hold settings for long stretches. Suspension is adjustable, so you can dial sag and rebound for comfort. And the chassis tracks straight at highway pace with a planted, confident feel seniors appreciate. Price snapshot. New, discontinued. Used examples typically list around $3,500 to $6,500, depending on miles and records. Smart money for a classic standard that still turns heads. The tank is about 5 gallons. Returns in the low 40s miles per gallon are common with measured wrists, and the seat sits near 32 inches for secure footing at lights. Brakes respond to braided lines and quality pads for predictable bite, and modern sport touring rubber sharpens turn-in without harming comfort. A carb clean, fresh diaphragms, and synced butterflies restore silky response. Then the midband wakes with stout roll-on for 2-lane passes. Community support is robust, with parts interchange and knowledge everywhere. Trade-off, heft shows in tight lots and slow U-turns. Practice clutch rear brake control, and it settles smooth and obedient. Top speed of Kawasaki ZRX 1110. Add a small screen, and you get a quiet pocket that saves shoulders on long slabs. Luggage options abound, and the bike carries weight calmly. Gearing is sensible, vibes are mellow, and clutch feel remains light. Want boxer, peaceful composure with lower upkeep mess after this muscle standard? 8 brings telelever stability, shaft drive cleanliness, and approachable seat options at prices that stay friendly for riders who value reliable, long-mile composure. Number 8. BMW R 850R. Smaller displacement boxer, value with grown-up manners. The R850R delivers comfort, stable road feel, and shaft drive cleanliness in a package most shoppers overlook. It's a relaxed mile eater with honest hardware and deep community support. The air/oil cooled Boxer makes tractable torque and runs reliable with approachable valve checks you can do at home. Access is excellent with cylinder heads right there. Many years include ABS, lighting is solid, and the telelever front end cuts brake dive for smooth, predictable, stopping that spares wrists on rough towns. Price picture: new, discontinued. Used riders commonly land around $2,000 to $3,800 with records. Serious value for a shaft drive roadster that shrugs off daily commuting. The tank is about 5 gallons. Economy often sits in the high 40s miles per gallon with measured throttle, and seat options span roughly 30 to 32.5 inches for secure footing. On the road, it tracks neutral. Wind management is simple with fly screen choices, and the chassis carries luggage calmly without weave. Stainless lines and quality pads wake the brakes, while fresh shocks restore control and keep ride plush. Tires in a modern compound sharpen feedback and keep corner entries smooth. Ownership is straightforward. Filters, fluids, and valve checks follow a clear cadence, and parts depth remains strong thanks to the Boxer ecosystem. Electrical gremlins are rare when grounds are clean and the battery is healthy. Small caution: early ABS modules can be pricey, so verify function and service history. A non-ABS example keeps costs simple. Yearn for British triple sound and simple service? 7 delivers tone, poise, and everyday value. Learning something that could save cash? Tap subscribe, hit like, and drop a hype. More underrated gems with reliable histories and smart fit tips are on deck for senior riders weekly. Number 7. Triumph Legend TT900. Classic triple soundtrack with everyday comfort, value you can feel, and reliable bones. The Legend TT stays the quiet bargain that still turns heads. Carbureted 3-cylinder delivers creamy mid-range and a stable cadence for 2-lane wandering, while the steel chassis keeps steering neutral and feedback confident. Maintenance is practical. Simple carb tops, accessible plugs, durable driveline, and a deep community for parts cross-refs, jet kits, and setup recipes. Used pricing: $2,500 to $4,500 lets you buy character and real value without torching the bank. Economy lives high 30s to low 40s miles per gallon if you ride smooth, and the tank holds roughly 4 to 4.5 gallons for range. Seat height near 31 inches helps seniors, and returning riders plant boots secure, and the relaxed triangle keeps wrists comfortable on longer loops. Stock suspension loves fresh fork oil and a quality shock, restoring control and making patched pavement feel civil without losing that classic thrum. Brakes are the era's weak link. Braided lines plus modern pads bring predictable bite and a firmer, stable liver. Fit a mid-height screen, add soft bags, and the Legend becomes a tourer that looks period correct and sounds glorious. Parts availability is better than skeptics expect, thanks to shared Triumph hardware and active owner groups. Consumables stay truly affordable. Brakes and old rubber lines feel dated if untouched. Spend a weekend, and they wake up beautifully. Honest triple sole with simple care, real comfort, and resale that stays solid because riders know what it is. Opposite energy next. Hate shifting in traffic but want real bike ergonomics? Number 6 brings twist-and-go convenience, commuter calm, and storage where the tank sits. Number 6. Aprilia Mana 850 CVT. Twist and go without scooter posture. Aprilia's Mana brings urban convenience, reliable commuter rhythm, and real bike comfort that shocked reviewers when new. The 839 CCV twin sits crosswise and feeds a CVT with sport, touring, and rain maps, so torque stays smooth and response stable in traffic. Where a tank would live, you get lockable storage for a full-face helmet or groceries, plus a phone slot, daily practical with real weather sealing. Underseat fuel keeps mass low and balance neutral, ABS on later years. Geometry stays confident in quick lane changes. Owners report reliable electronics once factory updates are applied. Confirmed TCU software and dash firmware are current to dodge gremlins. Service is straightforward. Easy oil access, belt inspection windows, and normal plugs. Valves are wide interval, and guides online keep wrench time organized. Used prices hover around $3,000 to $5,000, meaning you collect Euro flair, stable manners, and range without drama. Expect mid-40s miles per gallon if you ride sensibly, with about 4 gallons aboard for solid weekly legs, and a seat near 31.5 inches for secure footing and comfort. Ergos are senior-friendly. Neutral bars, generous knee room, and a plush saddle that takes downtown potholes without punishing spines. Skip updates, and the transmission control can hunt at odd speeds. A verified service history makes makes operations silky again. Add handguards and a mid-screen, and the cockpit becomes quiet. Throw soft bags on the tail, and you've got a light tourer with daily rituals and day-to-day reliability. Same goal, different path next. Prefer analog feel, an aluminum beam, and cult hero balance you can still afford. Number 5. Drops our beloved Hawk with style, poise, and real value. Number 5. Honda N T650 Hawk GT. Single-sided style, aluminum beam balance, and cult hero character. The Hawk GT is our analog sweetheart that still trades for sane money. The torquey 647cc V-twin makes tractable shove and a silky throttle when synced, while the compact wheelbase keeps turn-in precise and feedback stable. Cast aluminum frame and pro-arm swing arm add rigidity and style. Garage-friendly and ready for practical upgrades. Used prices typically sit around $3,500 to $6,500. Solid value underrated for a chassis this beloved. Expect mid-40s to low 50s miles per gallon when ridden. Smooth with about 3 4/10 gallons on board. Modest, stable range, so plan fuel. Seat height near 30 1/2 inches keeps footing secure for riders, and the neutral bar-to-peg triangle preserves relaxed comfort across day rides and commutes. Service is straightforward. Valve checks are accessible. Carbs respond to clean jets and fresh diaphragms, and parts support remains healthy via forums and cross-model shares. Suspension wakes up with modern fork springs, fresh oil, and a shock. Tires and contemporary compounds restore grip and keep the chassis calm over patched pavement. Brakes improve quickly with braided lines and good pads, giving predictable bite without sacrificing the bike's friendly demeanor. The small tank creates more fuel stops on highway stretches. Many owners add a small screen and settle into a quiet, stable cruise between towns. Fit soft luggage and a tidy rack, and the Hawk becomes a light tourer without losing flick. The motor's mid-range makes two-lane passing confident at speeds. Same goal, different path next. Want cruiser stance, boxer sole, and film star silhouette with shaft drive cleanliness? Number 4 brings that mix with reliable manners and couch-low comfort. Number 4. BMW R1200C. Boxer sole in a low-seat cruiser package. The R1200C blends shaft drive, cleanliness, film star style, and relaxed comfort. The air and oil-cooled flat twin thumps mid-range and a smooth beat, while telelever front control cuts dive for stable braking and happier wrists. Ergos are senior-friendly. Wide bars, forward floorboards on many trims, and a plush saddle that keeps hips relaxed across miles. Valve checks are approachable on the boxer heads, and the community is active with parts, luggage mounts, and wind solutions that build a quiet pocket. Used pricing runs $3,500 to $7,000, so you collect character, shaft cleanliness, and long day composure. Expect mid-40s miles per gallon with measured throttle, and about 4 1/2 gallons in the tank for honest range. Seat options vary roughly 29 to 31 inches for secure footing. Handling is calmer than sporty standards, yet the chassis tracks confident through sweepers. Fresh tires and correct sag help, and braided lines sharpen feel. Accessories matter here. Screens, bags, and backrests turn the bike into a light tourer that keeps the boxer heartbeat silently content at highway pace. Limited lean angle versus standards. Ride the torque, short shift, and keep corner entries tidy, and the C rewards with peaceful flow. Reliability shines when fluids in the final drive see regular attention. Records build trust and protect value at resale. Distinctive silhouette, relaxed cadence, and shaft drive. Grace make this a truly affordable gateway into the boxer world without the heft of full-dress tourers. Use case pivot, craving a lithe standard with thrift pricing and classic 4-cylinder smoothness. Number 3 jumps back to a rare Japan Market 4 that loves revs and daily miles. Number 3. Suzuki GSX 400 Impulse. Compact UJM size, rev-happy character, and affordable buy-in. The GSX 400 Impulse is the sleeper standard many riders overlook. The DOHC4 loves RPM, pulls smooth through the mid-range, and keeps vibes stable with correct sync. Maintenance stays practical. Common consumables, simple carb tops, and clear valve access that makes home service reliable. Fit braided lines, modern pads, and decent rubber. And the chassis feels confident, with better initial bite and silky feedback. Used pricing lands around $2,000 to $3,500, so you collect value without gambling on tired exotics. Expect about 4 gallons on board, low 50s miles per gallon when ridden smooth, and a seat near 31 1/2 inches for secure footing at stops. The cockpit is friendly. Neutral reach, mids pegs, and a plush seat that saves knees on longer loops. Period lighting benefits from a fresh bulb and a clean ground. Do the basics, and night visibility stays reliable. Suspension responds to fresh fork oil and correct sag, restoring control without harshness over patched pavement. The motor likes frequent oil and clean air filters. Do that, and longevity remains stable. Gray market sourcing can slow certain bits. Plan ahead, and shipping delays delays stop being a pain. Classic 4-cylinder smoothness. Modest insurance and cheap parts make this a daily that still entertains on Sundays. Crave more torques and a roadster stance with long day ergos? Number 2 goes European V-twin with stable geometry and relaxed pull. Number 2, Yamaha BT 1100 Bulldog. Torquey-Fi twin roadster with stable geometry, simple service, and real-world comfort. The Bulldog is the overlooked Yamaha that makes county roads peaceful. The air-cooled twin serves thick mid-range and a smooth cadence, while the stout frame and quality brakes keep lines precise under trail braking. Service is friendly, valves accessible, carb heaters straightforward, and parts crossover keep ownership practical. Used examples typically list $3,000 to $5,000, which buys character and reliable hardware that shrugs at high miles. Expect roughly 5 gallons in the tank, low 40s miles per gallon at measured pace, and a seat near 31 1/2 inches for secure footing. Ergonomics delivers neutral reach, low pegs for hips, and a plush saddle that spares tailbones on long afternoons. Swap in braided lines and fresh pads for firmer, predictable bite, then set sag and the chassis tracks, stable through sweepers. Add a mid-screen and soft bags, and you get quiet air plus weekend range without killing the silhouette. The gearbox likes deliberate shifts, but rewards with durable feel. Gearing suits 2-lane momentum more than frantic city sprinting. Curb weight and tall gearing favor a relaxed rhythm. Short shift and let the torque do the work. Reliability is strong with routine fluids, quality tires, and sane heat soak habits. Want full-size touring comfort with American build, belt cleanliness, and shocking value used? Number 1 closes strong with giant luggage and a reliable electrical backbone. Value here, tap like and drop a hype. Signals riders want smart, reliable picks and helps this community surface underrated gems while we build stable guides. Number 1, Victory Crossroads. Big twin tourer value with reliable freedom. V-twin heart, belt cleanliness, and luggage that swallows a week. The Crossroads is the budget distance machine hiding in plain sight. The 106 cubic inch twin makes broad torque and a smooth beat, while the strong alternator feeds heated gear, lights, and GPS with stable voltage. Service stays practical, easy oil changes, accessible primary, and clear belt inspection that keeps ownership relaxed. Used pricing sits around $5,000 to $8,500, delivering serious comfort for seniors who want miles, not drama. Expect about 5 3/4 gallons, high 30s miles per gallon at cruise, and a seat near 26 1/2 inches for secure footing with bags aboard. The chassis feels confident with a passenger. Correct sag and modern tires turn sweepers silky, and big floorboards save ankles on all-day rides. Wind protection dials in with the right screen height and simple lowers, creating a quiet pocket that spares shoulders. Brakes sharpen with braided lines and quality pads, giving predictable bite and stable lever feel under load. Electronics are durable and bodywork is robust. Parts remain available through specialists and active community groups. Light negative. Stock wind setup may buffet tall riders. A 2-minute shield change solves the irritation. Affordable mile eater with clean belt drive, glorious luggage volume, and calm highway manners that shame prissier tourers. Click the next video to keep the ride going. We'll show more underrated bargains with stable handling, reliable ownership, and real-world comfort. Then hit subscribe, tap like, and drop a hype. Weekly picks, setup tips, and checklists to keep miles smooth, costs sensible, and confidence steady.